All right, let's see. I want to see where Tony. Now, Tony, look at that. That looks like your office. Is that your office?
I'm in the office. You can tell because I'm surrounded by stuff that reminds me of how good I used to be. You know, trophy. Colin, what's up with your hair, man? It's a little. You need a little haircut. What do you think?
It's not great. Not very good.
So you look good, bud.
I would say you were a rock star in Kansas City for a long time, and I think ideally you would have liked to have stayed, but you didn't have the staff that kind of got you. What is it like to be the biggest rock star in Kansas City? Like, a lot of people look at Kansas City and they think it's cold and, I don't know. But Mahomes, he's all in on it. It feels like he wants to be Jeter, right?
Yeah, and he is. Obviously I still got my connections out there in Kansas City. There's nothing bigger than him. In Kansas City, he can't go anywhere. I mean, it's like when you're sitting out at dinner, I'm sure people are whispering, calling people. People are coming to the restaurant. I bet it's a very tough for him. But, hey, that's the price you pay for a Super Bowl championship in the great state of Kansas City, city of Kansas City. I love that they signed him long-term. I love those fans deserve it. This guy is the best quarterback in the NFL. It looks like there's no sign of slowing, only getting better with Andy Reid. It's the perfect combination. I'm so glad they were able to get this deal done because Kansas City, it's got a bright future as long as this kid's out there pulling the trigger for him.
It's interesting. There's a certain maturity about him. He said, listen, I don't want to take every last penny because I want to play with better players. And Drew Brees figured that out, 10 years into the league. But take me as a pro athlete. You want to be respected for the money. No question. But then Mahomes is like, listen, I'm not going to take every penny of it, okay? So how do pro athletes view money in terms of contracts, taking less, taking more?
Yeah, well, me and you and I have talked about this. What made Tom Brady so great, I think, is, and people can say the only reason I would ever call Tom Brady the GOAT is because he took less money. A lot of the quarterbacks, they always maxed out on their deals, and then you can't sign everybody. It's a chess game in the NFL, and you got to go out there and get other players. There's no such. It's not basketball where you can just sign a couple great players and go win championships. You got to have defensive players as well. And Tom understood that better than any quarterback in NFL history. And I think hopefully he understands that. I always say this though: his first deal, meaning not besides his rookie deal, that first big bite at the apple, you got to go for everything. You got to get as much money as you can. And I like this deal because obviously going to be cap friendly over the next 2-3 years, and maybe they can go get another Super Bowl over the next 2-3 years. But after that, once that cap hit starts coming, that's where it comes time for Patrick Mahomes. If he's serious about winning as much championships as he can, he's got to take less money. You got to say, hey, I'll do what I can to restructure my deals to get all those players, because now by then you already got $100 million. And Tom is the one who I say Tom has left at least $100 million throughout his career. Add all those years up of money that he could have had. But he said, hey, I'd rather have the Super Bowl rings and be considered the greatest quarterback of all time than have that extra $100 million, where a lot of players won't do that. It just comes down to the individual player and what they want their legacy to be after they're gone, and how much is enough where in the long term, where I think Patrick understands that.
The thing about Patrick, I said this yesterday, it's not just talent, it's maturity. I feel safe that if I give Patrick Mahomes 10 years, that I know 9 years in, he still comes to the facility early. But I don't think there are guys in this league, a lot of quarterbacks I'm not giving 10-year contracts to. Go to your career in your locker room. And again, you were driven by more than money. I would give Tony Gonzalez 10 years. How many players in a locker room, average NFL locker room, could you give a 10-year contract to? They wouldn't get lazy. You could trust them. I don't think it's that many. I mean, in your career, how many guys could you give a 10-year contract to and it wouldn't affect them?
I think it's a very small number. I'm going to say 15% in the NFL. The rest, I wouldn't do that to. I would not do that to, because first of all, football, a lot of guys, we talk about it, they like football. They like it a lot. But it's very difficult to love football. And you're an outlier if you really absolutely love it, like have a passion for playing this game. The guys like Peyton Manning, where, they would have played this game for league minimum if they didn't know any better, obviously. But Patrick is that type of guy. I feel like I was that type of guy. I just loved being out on the football field. I love catching footballs. I love the chess play. And you'd be surprised. People, a lot of the guys like football. They like what football gives them. They don't love football. This kid loves football, and there's very few of those guys in the NFL.
You know, the ESPN came out with a poll. They talked to 50 league executives, scouts, GMs, coaches, 50 and some players, 50 people in the NFL, and they ranked quarterbacks, and they had their highest rank and their lowest rank. And somebody ranked Russell Wilson 9th best quarterback in the league. Somebody put Lamar Jackson 12th. It's interesting. There is this belief, I don't believe this, but a lot of people do, that Lamar Jackson, people are going to figure this thing out. I just think he's fast. I don't think you can figure out speed. He's just, what do you, there are critics out there, though. People in this poll said, like, he's not a top 10 quarterback. What do you make of Lamar? Are you surprised? Do you think there's a ceiling? What do you make of him?
I think you hit it right there. If we're going to the horse track, I don't care what the horse looks like or what. The one who gets around the track the fastest is going to win. This kid is never been seen before. I mean, we talk about Michael Vick, but this guy might even be faster. When he takes off, you can't stop that, and there's nothing you can do to prepare for that. I don't care what you do from a defensive perspective. I just don't know how you're going to do that because he can throw too. Let's not underestimate his throwing ability, and that system that they have out there with the tight ends, they just need to keep doing that. You can get really good receiving tight ends on the cheap in the NFL. They're one of the lowest paid positions. I think he is here to stay, and he's going to have another outstanding year as long as he stays healthy. And we've talked about it. I just need the longevity here, where running quarterbacks, they don't last too long in the NFL. So if he can take care of his body and he's running a 4.2, I don't think you're going to have an answer for him.
Yeah, I agree. So Mahomes was 1, Russell Wilson 2, according to all the people who were polled anonymously. I agree with that. I'd go Patrick 1, Russell 2. I think you can argue a lot of 3s. They have Aaron Rodgers 3rd. I'm fine with it. I think you can argue anything after the first 2. Who would be your 3rd and why?
Looking at that list, I love my guy, Drew Brees. I think Drew Brees, he gets no respect. He's the Rodney Dangerfield of the NFL because, I mean, the guy just keeps going out there putting up these huge numbers after numbers, and he always is in control in the games. I like him a lot. Anybody else on there? And Aaron. Aaron, I think I would flip-flop that. Aaron would be probably my 4th best, and then maybe I think Deshaun Watson, he's somebody on that list that if I'm looking at it, remember DeAndre Hopkins is gone. When you lose your all-pro, arguably the best receiver in the NFL next to Julio Jones, I'm anxious to see how he plays this year because he's had a lot of help. We've seen DeAndre Hopkins make highlight reel type catches and do spectacular plays. That's gone now. That's a big deal. Let's not underestimate that. So we're really going to see how good this kid really is. And I like Deshaun Watson. I'm not saying he can't do it, but it's going to be interesting to see where this list is next year once DeAndre Hopkins is gone.
Finally, cultures are different. Coaches are different. Systems are different. Cam Newton was the Carolina Panthers. They built everything around him. Now he goes to New England, follows the GOAT. It's pretty rigid. He's not going to get all the snaps at practice. I don't know. I think they'll play really good defense. I think Cam will run the ball a lot. I think they don't have to protect him. It's a 1-year contract. They're just going to make him Cam the runner more than Cam the passer, and I think it's going to work to some degree. Do you think he's going to struggle? Culture shock, new system, new coach, Belichick's rough on dudes. How do you think it works?
Yeah, that's the thing. This is an odd couple. This is, I don't know. I'm trying to think of an analogy for it. I don't know, oil and water. Judging from what I've heard about Cam, and I don't know him personally, and judging from what I've heard about Bill Belichick and the Patriot way, it's not fun. And Cam likes to have fun from what I've heard. So I just think that culturally, I see this being a tough fit. I'm not saying it can't work, but is Cam healthy too? A lot of people, it sounds like you're just assuming that Stidham is not even going to be the starter, that Cam's just going to be the starter. But looking at the last 2 years of Cam's tape, he hasn't been Cam Newton. He's not that MVP guy. He hasn't done that for 2 years unless he's absolutely healthy. And in even that, you got to learn that playbook. The playbook from Josh McDaniels is notoriously pretty tough. Stidham's been learning it for the last year under Tom. Who are they going to make this playbook around? Is it going to be around Stidham? Is it going to be around Cam? They're kind of two different guys. I'm anxious to see how this goes, and I would not be shocked if Cam doesn't even, because he doesn't have the offseason because of what's going on in the world. Who knows what Cam's going to be like? I wouldn't be shocked if Cam doesn't even start opening day. I think Stidham might even get that nod. But I do love the pickup. I think the Patriots did exactly, because if you get Cam of old and you can get a healthy Cam like he says he is, and without a doubt, Cam's a top 5, top 10 at least quarterback when he's healthy. So I'm anxious to see how this turns out.
Wide Open with Tony Gonzalez is the podcast, by the way. He talks about wellness, health, mindset. You're the guy that talked me into taking a cold shower every morning when I first met you. So I take a cold shower in the morning. I know it's great energy. It wakes me up. It's actually great. So Tony convinced me to do that. And I'm like, it doesn't sound like me. I do a cold shower in the morning. So now, how have you handled COVID? How's your family handling it? How you're dealing with it?
You know what? You turn lemons into lemonade and everything that's going on. So we've done a lot, actually, around the house. Kind of switched our schedule up. We've been able to usually right now, I wouldn't be if I was doing this interview, it would be from Italy, eating a plate of pasta, because we're usually over in Europe this time of year. Working on our tans, but that's obviously not the case now. So we are doing a lot of stuff around the house. Maybe take some road trips here, rediscover America. So we're looking forward to it. We got some good plans coming up.
Good seeing you, buddy. Nice talking, Tony Gonzalez, the Hall of Famer. Thanks, man.
All right, guys, take care, bud.
Yeah,
get a haircut. Huh?
All right, that cold shower thing, spectacular. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd, or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.